Hi, so this is my response for understanding yourself, your athletes, students, and clients. So we're asked to answer these questions. Um, sorry. How does your personality promote your self confidence? And how does your personality deter your self confidence? From the Big Five personality test, I learned more about myself in the sense that I knew I was already this type of person, but I got words to go along with it. So I'm really open mindedness, and because of all that, and being sociable and dependable and all that, it definitely helps me be more confident in the stuff that I do, like as a coach and whatnot. But where it deters my self confidence is that I have myself set at such a high standard, and if I don't reach that, then like my self confidence kind of drops. Um, so there's those two. Identify several reasons why and understand why. Oh, okay. Why understanding a participant or client personality would be useful to you as a sports science professional. So, obviously, for coaching, being aware of, for me, being aware of my athletes' personalities is really important to the job because you have to know how to talk to certain people. You have to know, you just have to know how to talk to people because the way you talk to them could either bring up their self confidence or it can bring it down, and you can't talk to the same person twice. I mean, the same person, two different people the same way. Like, I have this athlete. She doesn't have basketball IQ, but, I have to take a step aside and talk to her and be like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what I want you to do, instead of just yelling at her in front of everybody. You want to build up their self confidence for that, so that they know that they can do this certain drill, that they can do this activity, but you don't want to embarrass them. And that just goes for basically any type of athlete in general. That's just like basic respect. um, so the fourth question: what components of your personality do you find to be relatively stable traits? I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I just got done my practice. Okay. Um, what components of your personality do you find to be relatively stable traits? Um, the components of those, or you know, different aspects of that, would just be the fact that I am really sociable and dependable. I think people being able to depend on me and can give me a task and I'll complete it and whatnot is obviously a stable trait and um, something that employers see a lot too. And what components of your personality do you find to change according to the particular circumstance? So one of the problems, or one on the big test personality thing, was that I get anxious and I get nervous a lot when things don't go as planned. And if it's not anywhere near of like my confidence level of how high I've set the bar, if it's not anywhere near that, then obviously I'm gonna freak out. So I would say that'd be the only thing that I need to change, just because I can't freak out as much and I have to fight through it. And when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So give it your all and don't give up, type of deal. Number 6, what are your thoughts when you consider that God gives you the strength to do all things? Well, my thought on that is obviously, um, I always have this quote in me, or like I always remembered it, and it's if he can bring you to it, he'll bring you. If he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it, and like that just goes for saying that like you just have to trust him. You have to trust the process, and you have to trust it because like at the end of the day, um, you're not like it's not you that's in charge of it. Like it's you in charge of your actions, but whatever he has planned for you is gonna happen no matter what, and you can't fight it. And you know, if you're fighting it, then you're gonna get weak. But if you're like going with it and you're allowing him to take his hands on the wheel and like just go, you're gonna gain strength through that in general. And it's just why fight something that's obviously there? And that's what I actually tried to do. I didn't want to be a coach at all. I was coaching when I was 8. My first coaching gig was like I was 18, and after that, I was like, you know what, I'm done. And I didn't want to play basketball. I didn't play basketball straight out of high school. And every time I tried to stop, um, something came up because right after that, one of my mom's long lost friends from high school if asked me to help them out with practices, and because of that, we had me and my mentor. She became a mentor, but anyways, we had a long friendship, and you know, I tried to fight it, but he kept throwing it in my face. It's like, basketball's your thing, basketball's your thing. And I'm like, I don't know. But, everything works out for the best, and it has so far. So I'm really thankful for that. And do you agree that having confidence not in yourself will actually give you more freedom and peace? For some reason, this is throwing me off. Do you agree that having confidence not in yourself will actually give you more freedom? Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, I think that if we don't have confidence in ourselves, if we just let go, that will give us more freedom and peace. No, I don't think so. There's an accountability effect on that, and if you're not holding yourself accountable, then there's no freedom and there's no peace. If you're not confident and you walk in there with like your head down and not basically having any authoritative figure or anything authoritative at all, then it's just kind of like, what are you doing? You're not really living. You don't have any pride in like what you do or like even as a person. So I don't think that will elevate any type of freedom or peace. I think that will be a lot more stressful because when I walk into the room, I like to walk in with my head up and like I deserve to be there. Like even at the school that I coach at, I don't walk around like oh, I'm just an assistant. Like no, like I worked my way up to get to where I'm at right now. Like I'm not gonna let go of my self confidence and just exist. Like that's not how things work. Or at least I don't think they are. Anyways, sorry this ran long. I can't wait to watch you guys' videos.